Hello, happy Monday. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make lovely and quirky hand embroidery kits. And I am here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time for about an hour, and it's the time when we can relax and craft and work on a project together from beginning to end. So we've been working on the Charming Chevrons quilt by Krista Watson of Krista Quilts. And we are to the point, we're almost to the point that we're going to sandwich the quilt together. And what that means is we are going to temporarily baste with pins. So temporarily hold together with pins the top of the quilt to the batting to the bottom of the quilt. So those three layers, it's called like a quilt sandwich because we're sandwiching those three layers together. I thought we were going to do that tonight, but we're going to do that tomorrow because tonight I have to still press, I still have to iron the back. So today it's going to be the big full-on ironing, the big pressing before we tape it to the ground and start sandwiching it together. So you can see I've moved all the furniture, all these chairs and this a little sewing cabinet here. All that's been pushed back because I need this entire space here to fit the quilt. So I did it kind of a day early. I thought I was going to sandwich it today, but we got to press first. So this is the back of the quilt that I'll be pressing, and then I'll lay it out behind me, and then we will press the front of the quilt as well. And then we should be all ready to go for tomorrow when we sandwich the whole thing together. So thanks for joining me, guys. I appreciate you being here. I'm going to just scooch around and let's just start going. Let me know how your weekend was and how your Monday is going. We are just going to press. So I've brought out this other little table so I can have my stand for the cordless iron over here, the base. So then I can just come over here without any cord whatsoever. I kind of love this cordless iron that I got recently here. It's the Panasonic cordless iron. I think I have a link for it, but man, I'm loving it. So I haven't tested how long it can keep the heat, but what I like doing is I just have the base near me right here, so whenever I'm ready to move the fabric or whatever, I just throw it back in the base. So I think we'll be able to get, I'll be able to press this whole thing in 2 bouts, I think, because I can get halfway. Now that I'm using the whole table, the whole ironing board here, I think I can get it in just two halves to get this guy done. But yeah, I want this, relatively nice and flat for when we baste it together. And I'm just going to baste it with pins. By basting, all we mean is holding the 3 layers of fabric and the batting together temporarily while we quilt it. And you can do that with stitches. You can do that with spray baste, which is just like a glue. I like using just the pins, the safety pins, the bent safety pins. And so, I don't know. We're just going to keep doing it that way. So this is the only space in the house that I can do the laying it out on the ground. And like I said, I had to move all the furniture just about to fit this. We don't have any big space. I don't have any wall space. I don't have a table big enough either to try table basting. So tomorrow we will be on the floor again, which is not fun. I'd like to come up with a different solution, but right now it just, that's what's going to work the best for me here. All right. This is going to be so nice when it's all pressed, though. I'm probably just going to drape it across these chairs when I'm done, just because I don't want to kind of crinkle it up again before tomorrow. So I think I'll just drape the back and the front on those chairs back there. And so it'll be one more day of living with our furniture all over the place, and then we'll be back at the sewing machine. That'll be good. You're right there with me there, Deborah, with no big space. It's okay though. We can get it done. Yep, it'll still get done. Oh, the hedgie! Oh yeah, you guys, my husband got a dowel for the hedgie. I'll show you that. So I don't have it hanging up yet. I'm cleaning up the area though, so I can. So hopefully next time we're sewing, it can be over there. But here, let me show you it. There. So he got the dowel for it. So there we go. I might put a little tie here so it can tie so that the dowel doesn't show. But there, so our little wall hanging, it just looks so much better once it's all stretched out like that. And here, let me show you guys. Woo! Okay, there goes the ironing board. But I wanted to just show you guys, remember we did the corners there? I think that just worked perfectly fine. So yeah, so all I'm gonna do is add probably probably some yarn just to kind of hold the top in place so it doesn't kind of sag underneath. And yeah, I don't know, then some hooks or something. I'm not quite sure how to hang the rest of it. Probably 2 hooks that I can just drop it on. But anyway, there we go. All done. Oh, and then you can see all the little ties and everything. But yeah, I'm having a little trouble in general with this ironing board. It's easy. I like it. It just pops up really easy, but it comes down easy too. There we go. Like if I move it, like it needs the weight of the top to keep it together, and if it doesn't have that, then it falls. So that's kind of annoying. I've done that a bunch of times already. Just collapse the whole thing. But we got it figured. All right. Yeah, I need to make a cover for this though. I just have this towel underneath it still, and that's being annoying. It just wants to bunch up in places, and but we'll get it. There we are. Iron should be nice and hot again now. But yeah, so I'm excited to get that, get the hedgehog up. We did a lot of like little projects this weekend. Oh, it's a Julia Child kind of move where she tosses the food on the floor. Nice. Oh yeah, a little Velcro to hold it up. Well, the problem is, so I've tried some Velcro type strips on our wall behind me when during my normal, when I'm at the sewing table in the little dining room. Things don't stick to that wall very well, so I think it'll have to be nailed or screwed in, I think, whatever we hang it on. Especially because we don't want it to fall down on Zeb and Phil or something and break that little cute little pincushion guys. So I want it secure up there, but hopefully the little hedgie will be behind me soon. We'll see. But this weekend, my husband rewired his great-grandma's Singer sewing machine. You know, the one from the 20s. I think 1927. So the cord for it was a little frayed, the one going to the wall, the outlet one. So he rewired that. And we also had to take all the wires off because I wanted to put it in a cabinet, and the cabinet just has one little hole that you have to run the wires up, which means you have to undo all the wiring. It just is so silly. But anyway, so that's done too. So in my office, finally in a usable state outside of the carrying case is his great-grandmother's sewing machine, and it works. I cleaned it up, I oiled it, I put a little project there, so now whenever I'm on the computer all day long and I just need like a teeny little break, I can just go over and sew a couple little pieces and just, you know, chill for like 3 minutes and then get back to you know, computer work again. So I'm so happy with that, and it's out. You can see it now, and I don't know, I feel like we're honoring his great-grandma's machine now. You're sewing and heating oil for chicken tenders. Ooh, yikes. Yes, that's no fun, Gretchen. But yeah, so I'm happy. And then the project that I have on there is just tons of little itty-bitty scraps. My mom was getting rid of like 2 bags of scraps, like small scraps. You know, that really is like garbage worth scraps. But I'm taking all the little pieces and I'm just improv piecing them together. So I just have a bucket, basically, a cute bucket of scraps, and then I can just dig through there and grab one here or there, and so I don't, there's no like big plan or anything. I'm just going to keep sewing all the little pieces together and, you know, eventually sew together and it'll be a quilt. Just basically kind of like what we did for the back of this quilt. We just kind of sewed the pieces together, and, you know, then ultimately we turned them to chevrons. I kind of want to try dyeing with however this project ends up. So this will be a never-ending project, right? It's just scraps that I occasionally sew on, but they're all different and they all just look weird together. You know, like I'm not picking out colors. I'm not thinking about that at all. It's just a mess, right? But I thought it would be kind of cool to just keep sewing them together so you got all these weird angles and everything still. But then it would be fun to either bleach, do a bleach wash, or like an indigo dye on top of it or something. So you can still see the pattern and everything come through, but the color of it all kind of gets into the same tone. Like it all gets like kind of mushed together. I thought that might be a fun experiment because I've never done dyeing. I've never done that bleach stuff before, and it's been in my head as like something that would be really fun to try. And with this particular project, it makes sense because all of the patterns are just so kind of garish together that it needs something to unify it again, and I thought that'd be kind of fun. All right, we got one side done. I'm just going to rotate it here and get the other side. So this isn't taking long. That's good. Yeah, now that I'm using the entire ironing board, this used to, you know, it's going to go faster. When I had the base sitting over here, I think we would have had to do this in thirds, and that would have taken quite a bit more time. So I have a second vintage ironing board, and that doesn't collapse as crazy as this one does. Although it's kind of cool. Like I feel like once, if you got in the rhythm, you could just lift it up, and it just folds up, and then, you know, you kick it out again, and it just gets put together. I think it'd be really, you know, slick once you got used to it. Get all the wrinkles out. Oh, you guys, it was 84 this evening still. Oh, it's summer. I'm actually sweating. We have all the windows open right now, and it's just heat, but I love that heat, and now I'm getting it from the iron too. So I'm a little toasty, but I like it. It's finally spring/summery feeling. So my mom got this iron too, and it just came in the mail, so she's gonna test it out too. And she also ordered one of the wool mats. So I think the wool mats are still up on Mass Drop. If you guys missed getting the wool mat, this pressing mat last time. She got the larger one, so I'm kind of excited to see, next time I'm there, to see how the larger one works. If it wasn't for such a small space that I'm working in, I would have gotten the larger one too. But, I'm just more limited in my space. So I wanted to make sure it'd fit. I know, a heat wave, right, Deborah? It's amazing. Oop. My towel's bunching up again down here. I love it. I like when it gets hot. I mean, it gets to a point where it's a little unbearable, and then, then it's not as fun. But I love this time of year before you have to put the air conditioner in, and you can just have all the windows open. It's such a limited amount of time. Even when it gets just a little too hot, it's like, oh man, how can we get that air flowing in here? And I don't know. Our house isn't very conducive for airflow, but it's just nice to have the windows open. Oh, it's perfect 60s in Ohio. Oh man, see, yep, that's good. I do like these 80s though. I like, like if it was 76, that would be good. Because then I can wear this outside and be totally comfortable. For most of the day, I couldn't have this sweater on, and I could have used shorts today too, but I'm not there yet. I want to soak in the heat a little bit first. But yeah, I don't know how long it's going to last, but right now it's so nice. Oh, good, Gretchen. I will go check out the Penguin and Fish Crafters. I want to see the dolls that you made. All right, we're getting going on this, and I want to press the front again. I think we might have pressed the front already, but it's been folded up for a little while. So we'll get out the kinks and stuff again before we sandwich it together tomorrow. But tomorrow is the big day. Tomorrow we are going to put it together. But after that, after we get done sandwiching it and we go back to the sewing machine, I still have my Splendid sampler sitting out there. Remember on Friday was Finish It Friday, so I got the Splendid sampler quilt out and started working on the border again. I don't think I can put that away again until it's done. It's just so close to done that it's just gonna hurt my chest to put it away again. So I think instead of getting going on this right away, we're just gonna finish that up. It's not gonna take long. I had that one seam that we have to take out and do again, and then it's just three more borders to do the same way. So that's just going to be like a day each. And then the binding. The binding is done already. It just needs to be sewn on. I won't do all the hand stitching on these Facebook Lives, but I'll show you how I start the hand stitching process. But I can't put that away again. That's got to get done. So I guess that's kind of the fun thing about the Finish It Fridays, because this happened with the hedgehog too. Over here, I was just so close to finishing it that I had to work on it a couple more days. You know what I mean? So we're getting the projects done. I'm stoked. Oh, and I got another project done this weekend. I had some mending to do. I had just a linen long sleeve shirt that that had holes in it. So I got some embroidery floss out and did some weaving mending for that. Maybe I'll wear that tomorrow, then I can show you guys what I did there. So I just tried to squeak in a few little mini projects this weekend, just to chill for a few moments. Oh, and speaking of what I did this weekend, I got all of your guys's orders out. So If you purchased the 6-kit embroidery kit bundle, any of my new patterns, I had that, or new kits, I had that kit sale last week. All of the orders are out, so you will be getting most likely this week your new kits. So just keep an eye on your mail. If you live near me, you might even get them tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be the earliest. Most of them went out priority, and that usually is 1 to 3 days. So this week, and a lot of times the first class mail ones get delivered within the same week too, so those you might get too. Otherwise, you'll get those early next week. Oh yeah, you ordered my book from Amazon Australia. It's due to get here. Oh, June 5th. Oh man, that's a ways away. But good, I'm glad you were able to get one, Kathleen. That's awesome. So, you guys, I told you about that whole book situation that they're just not selling them anymore. And we were supposed to have access to all the remainders, but we didn't. So I'm trying to get a hold of, and I'm hopefully going to take care of this week, but I'm hopefully going to get a hold of more books so we have them available, because I want to do that sew-along coming up. So the that sketchbook sew-along, and for my book, and I'm kind of sourcing. I want to do kits together for it, just in case you don't want to look for a sketchbook or fabric and all that. And I've been sourcing some fabric, and I think we might use Robert Kaufman metallic Essex linen. So if you guys are familiar with that, it is just the prettiest fabric ever. It has some metallic threads that they weave into it, so it just shimmers, and it is just so cute, and it's linen, so it's going to be easy to stitch through and everything still. So I'm hoping that we can get some of that, and that's what I'm going to have for the kits, just some really beautiful linen and, extra shimmery. I think it's going to make it super great if you're stitching it up for like a holiday gift or something, for the winter holidays, which will be here at some point again. We'll have enough time to finish the project before then, which is good. But yeah, so I'm excited about that. I'm starting to try and find some really pretty things to make these kits for these sketchbooks. Oh, you love the metallics? Oh, you use them in your mandala quilt. Oh, that's awesome, Gretchen. Yeah, okay, so Gretchen, for for my book, the publisher doesn't have any anymore, and I've tried to order a bunch of them on Amazon, and sometimes it says that they have them available on Amazon, but then they don't. It says like a weird shipping date, and then they just never come. So I only have about 20 here. So if you buy from me, I only have like 20 left, so they're pretty limited. We did find a place that is selling like a sell-off place or a remainders place. We're going to try and get as many as we can from them, but it's just not going to exist anymore. We do have the rights for the patterns, though, again, so we may, if we can't get a handle on any books anymore, in the future, if we do some more projects, I might be able to sell them individually, which will be good. You missed the sale? Oh, being in the hospital, but you got discharged this week. Oh, good. I'm so happy you got discharged. All right, so we are done with the back. I'm going to just lay it out here so I can just show you. It barely fits in here. And then we're gonna press this front again. But yeah, so here I had to move the chairs. The chairs are normally here. There, I'm going to have to move it so I can iron. But just to give you a sense of this. There, so there's the back. You can just see the width, but I did have to move that furniture over there for it to work. So I'm going to just, I think, shush it up on up here for now. Oops. There, hopefully it doesn't get too wrinkled there. And then let's just press this guy out and we'll be good to go. Oh, I could do yeah, I don't have any pool noodles, but that I could do on the floor here. So Bonnie's suggesting to do the pool noodle way of quilting, and that's where you roll up the different layers on separate pool noodles, and then you can, that allows it to like stretch and then keep it all really flat, and then you can pin as you go and keep unrolling. That might be a good solution next time I have to, I could do a queen size this direction with the pool noodles and not have to do the whole thing. So for right now though, I think we have enough space in here for to do that. But I think my mom got some pool noodles. Oops, I'm gonna go this way. And so she's gonna try that method, the pool noodle method of sandwiching a quilt together. So we'll try it. We'll try it at her house sometime and then see how it goes. But yeah, I don't have any pool noodles, but I guess now is the season to get some, I suppose. Ooh, let's make sure this is still on. Yep. Oh, you use pipe insulation in PVC. Oh, well, that makes sense. That's kind of like the same thing, isn't it? That way, you can adjust the length. You can adjust it because you're using different lengths of that PVC insulation, or how can you adjust lengths? Let me know, Gretchen. But yeah, I could see that. I mean, I'd still have to do it on the floor here because I don't have a table big enough for a full length of a quilt. But, that might be a better option than crawling all over the ground. The pipe insulation is so cheap. Yeah, well, we might be making a Menards trip soon here, so maybe I'll check that out. Yeah, because I would need it like super long, right? I would need it at least as long as the quilt. When you're doing it, I'm gonna have to Google that a little bit. The pool noodle way of doing a quilt, because how do you start? Like, how do you make sure that the front and the back and all that's centered? Don't you still have to kind of lay it all out for it to work before rolling it up? I mean, I don't know. I'll have to look up how to do that again. The PVC pipe is cut and it fits in the sides of the insulation. Oh, so then you just extend the sides out, but then what do you do in the middle, like where only the pipe is exposed and not the PVC, the insulation? I'm gonna have to look that up. I'm gonna have to look up how to do that, Gretchen. That sounds intriguing. I like the idea of it being able to squish together and then store a little bit smaller, or work on a smaller, like more lap-size quilt, which is probably what I do more of. But yeah, I am open to trying some alternatives to crawling all over the floor. Joanne Smith Norman, Alyssa is using an iron. Oh, I know, isn't it? Isn't it awesome? Yeah. I would buy this again in a second. I mean, you don't, especially for big things like this, if I was, over here and I had a cord, the cord would be grabbing all of this fabric underneath and bending it, and, I just ironed it and it would squish it all. So, man, this cordless iron And I think now that I have it off of the ironing board, I have it over here. That made a lot of sense. I wish I would have done that earlier, because now I have more of my big iron. So this is going to go a lot faster. I can tell that I've pressed this once before, but I can also tell that I kind of crumpled it up afterwards. So we're just giving it a final shimmy. But yeah, next up for sewing this is we're going to sew just in the zigzags, in the stitch in the ditch, along the zigzags like this. And after that, then we'll go back and we'll do all our little free motion quilting. Ooh, I'm going to sneeze from this. Excuse me, man. Getting quilt fuzz. Did you find out if they will replace the base? Okay, so they won't replace the base. So I have a crack. This like got damaged in shipping, the base, and there's a big crack in it, which I was pretty not happy about. And I got it on Mass Drop, and the way Mass Drop works is they, depending on how many people buy something, they get the price down. Like it goes down with the more people buying. And then they buy all of them at once and ship them at that lower price. So they don't actually have inventory of the iron. So they couldn't replace the iron. So they gave me the option to either return it and then they'd give me my money back. Which is not enough to buy a new one because I got it for cheaper on Mass Drop and it's not being sold that cheap anywhere else. So I'd have to rebuy it at not the Mass Drop price from somewhere else. Or they said you can keep it and they'd refund me like $30 or something. So I told them that I would do that just because I don't know. I was bummed. I just didn't like the idea of having to get it again and then having to ship it back and everything. I thought maybe I would just deal with it until it doesn't work. I mean, it's a big crack, so I feel like if I dropped it, maybe it would make the crack even bigger, and then it'd be a problem. But right now, it seems to be sitting in without, like if I press on it, then it can kind of, the base goes down a little bit, like I can press the crack, but there's nothing directly on it. So I don't know. I thought it would just be okay. You should talk to Panasonic. Yeah, maybe I should talk directly to them. That's a good idea, Linda. Yeah, you know what? I should do that. So yeah. I have a bunch of emails to email tomorrow, like catching up emails, kind of like that. Checking in emails, so that'd be a good one to add to the list. I should, because, it's not nice to get something new and it already be broken, But it seems to be working, so I'm just like, eh. But yeah, I love it though. All right, let's just do this other side quick, and that will be that. We'll be all ready to sandwich this together tomorrow. I'm excited to start quilting this though, but I do want to get that dang Splendid Sampler quilt done. I just don't want it to put it in that bin again that I had it in. As an unfinished project. I can't have that be an unfinished project still. It's eating at me. And it's such a bear to move around and stuff too, so to like have to fold it up and get it back in, that case and I don't know, store it again somewhere. Can't do it, so we're gonna finish that first. And agree, called the company. You once had a crack in a barbecue and the company sent you a whole new base. Oh, Glennis, okay. Yep, That's a good idea. I hadn't thought about contacting the company directly, the manufacturer directly. So I think that's a good idea. Yeah, because I would like a new base for sure. Yeah, so that's the only bummer about it. But other than that, I love it. And, you know, last time we were here, we kind of discovered that you can just take the top off. Let's see if I can figure out how to do that again. There, like this. So I can have this still heating on the base while I go over and fill it up with more water if I'm using steam, and then come back on and just click it back on right away. I thought that was... Someone was thinking, you know, for that. They're thinking about the details of it, which, you know, is nice. Wow, this is blowing fuzz everywhere. I feel like I'm going to sneeze again. Although the windows have been open, so we've been a little bit more sneezy. I vacuumed up all the dust bunnies today, so, but, you know, I think it's the open windows. We're starting to get all that, getting the pollen and stuff in here again. If you contact, let them know how much you have advertised for them. Oh, that's not a bad idea. Say, hey, Panasonic, I've been talking about you a lot online, but my thing's broken. Yeah, we'll see. But that's a good idea. Great suggestions. Like, yeah, I should definitely contact the company directly, I think. Because I'm loving it so far. It's like I wish I had this a million years ago. The no cord, I mean, that's a game changer for sure. Even on little things, that stupid cord always got in my way just because I could only hold it a certain angle, and you're always dodging that cord. I hate it. Does the iron spit water? So I have not tried the iron with water yet. It does have steam. Let's see. It has different settings, so I can spritz it or I can steam it. So I think you can actually use this as a steaming iron. Like if you hang up a shirt, I think you can steam it like that. So it has both. So it has the spritzing and it has the shushing of the steam. So it has both. There's a button for each. I haven't tested it though for the water yet. Nice, Gretchen. So yeah, I don't know the quality of the steam or the spritzing side of it. I haven't tried that yet. But we'll have to do a test. We'll have to do a test one of these days. Once we're back to the ironing pressing mat or something. I haven't used steam in a while. I kind of don't know why. Now would maybe have been a good time to steam this. I didn't want to do the steam while I was doing the half square triangles, like all of these shapes, because triangles can sometimes stretch kind of funny just because they're cut on that diagonal, the bias, which is really stretchy for fabric. So sometimes using steam can distort your half square triangles a little bit. So I didn't use steam on this, and I haven't kind of used it in a little while. But I think now would have been a good time. So now I'm kind of bummed I didn't test that out, but oh well. Now that everything's sewn together and we're just trying to get this nice and flat. But ah well, there will be more projects. So it's the putting it back in this base though that's keeping it charged, because I think it might only have like 10 minutes worth of charge or something. I haven't tested it, just ironed and ironed and ironed until it got cool. I have not tested it for that either. But if it is in the base and you haven't used it, it will turn off after 10 minutes. Like a normal iron. I mean, a normal iron will just kind of turn off too until you like move it around and then it will start up again. That's the same thing with the base. But it's definitely nice to have the base nearby so I can set it, because I can't set it up, right? Because it's got points on either side, so I can't just, you know, set it upwards. I have to put it back in the base, or I'm setting it on here and letting it sit, which I don't want to do. So I have the base nearby, but while I'm ironing, I don't have to deal with the cord, which is awesome. Oh, you just use it for the little things. You got a cordless iron for 14 bucks. Dang, that's a sweet price. Noeline. And use it for the little things. Yeah, I'm totally loving this. Oh, irons from your era do not turn off. All that safety stuff that they put in things like post the 80s. All right, we are done with this guy. So I'm going to just drape him on top of this. So we got the back going on here, and you know what? I'm going to have to fold this up, I think. Just a little, so we can get around this living room tomorrow. There we go. I don't think that'll wrinkle too much. And then let's get this guy. Just drape it there for tomorrow. There we go. It's going to be cute. We're going to just tuck these up. Alrighty. So that is that. I'm going to just let those sit overnight. We are not going to be able to use those chairs tomorrow. And then tomorrow I will place it all. I will tape it all down here. So the sandwiching process is we're going to tape the bottom, the back of the quilt. We'll tape that to the ground. Then I'll get my batting, which I've laid out so to try and get the wrinkles out. I'm going to lay that on top, and we'll trim it if we need to. If it's bigger than the back, it probably is bigger than the back. I got a queen-sized batting just to make sure I'd have enough versus the twin size. So, and I'll use the extra for random projects. So I'll lay that on the top and trim it, and then we'll put the top of the quilt on that, and then we'll start pinning at that point. So that is tomorrow's plan. Put on a timer thing when you plug. Oh, you're horrible at remembering when to turn, if you haven't turned the iron off, so you put a timer on. That's smart, especially if it doesn't have the auto time off. Oh, and then I'm hoping we'll put this guy up here too. I gotta get little hooks to hang this fella up too. I want to get him up soon. So we'll put him on top of all this too. There we go. He can sit there. We got a little fabric world happen over there. So awesome, guys. That is it for the night. Oh, I have not marked the centers on it. I'm just gonna lay it. It doesn't matter so much, the centers, just because I have the back of it is just improv-y. So if it's not perfectly centered, that's not going to matter so much. So I'm just going to estimate the centers. But yeah, I suppose if I measure the centers, then I could do that like roll-up thing. But we'll do that. We'll try that on a smaller quilt next time, I think, our next quilt that we do. So awesome. I think that will be that for tonight then, guys. And I will get this up on YouTube, and I will see you guys tomorrow then. Oh, I need to sign the hedgie. Oh, did I put a label in there? I always forget to do that. Yeah, you know what? I have to put some sort of label on there. You're right, Gretchen. I never ever remember to do that. So got to make that a habit somehow. So awesome. I will catch you guys tomorrow. I'll be back again at 8:30 p.m. Central Time tomorrow. We'll be on the floor here. All right. See you guys. Good night.